When I love to talk about movies, I love to talk about movies. I am Awesome Joe, and this is another episode of Awesome Joe's Awesome Playback to Back movie reviews, and I have 5 movies that I'm going to be reviewing with you guys today. They're going to be short, but they're going to be interesting, and I really do hope that you guys agree with me. But if you guys don't, you can always leave a comment in the section down below to have an awesome conversation with me, and we can talk about these certain in particular movies, or even other movies that you guys had in mind that you would love for me to review for you. So let's go ahead and get started here, because these five movies have been movies that I've been wanting to have to go and watch, so I've taken the opportunity to do so. And also, if you guys, I'm new to Snapchat, and if you guys want to see my reactions towards me watching these movies for the very first time, go ahead and find me under Awesome Joe on Snapchat, and you guys can experience my reactions towards them. So let's go ahead and get started with the first movie that I'll be reviewing with you guys today. Creed. I'm a huge fan of the Rocky franchise, and I remember when I first watched the first original Rocky movie, not back in 1977 when it was first released, but when I first watched it when I was a small boy, and how great of an experience it was for me to watch, on how deep, hardcore to the spirit, on how the way the boxing life is for an average boxer like Sylvester Stallone playing Mr. Rocky Balboa. So, and this one is kind of more of a remake, not a remake, but more of a passing of the torch to Michael B. Jordan, who's playing the son of the original Creed, Apollo Creed, from the original Rocky series. And Michael B. Jordan, you can tell that he has an amazing appearance, making it look like as if he was Apollo Creed's son. And you can see the resemblances. It's just amazing. So I was really astonished by that, and I love having to see Sylvester Stallone coming back to play Rocky once more. And he does it very well. Having to know that he's come from being the one out in the streets to becoming this professional boxer, and to becoming now the teacher of this whole thing. He's become like Mickey. Which is a great way to put this franchise through, of having to pass the torch and onto somebody who's a lot more confident and more spiritual towards having to be a professional boxing fighter. Because like they try to do that in Rocky 5, and I know a lot of people are not a big fan of Rocky 5. I love Rocky 5. I love all the Rocky movies, but Rocky 5 is actually a movie that a lot of people wanted to throw that away and ignore it and replace it with Creed. And so Creed is an amazing movie. I was really entertained throughout the whole thing. It was a great movie, and I'm really happy that it's part of the Rocky franchise. On Rotten Tomatoes, they rated it a 95%. That is a very high rating, and I love that rating, and I agree with that rating as well. But according to my ratings, I'm downing it a bit to 8.6 out of 10. It's not a bad rating. It's an amazing rating. I love it. I wish I could have given it a 95%, but unfortunately I felt more comfortable giving it an 8.6 out of 10. So that's my rating towards Creed. What did you guys think about it? Comment in the section down below. Let me know what you guys think. So I'm going to go ahead and jump over to the next movie that I'll be reviewing for you guys this evening. Keeping Up with the Joneses. Yeah, so I can't waste any more time, but Keeping Up with the Joneses is just, oh god, it was just exhausting. It was boring. I mean, you would think that you'd like it because it would be your average everyday couple meeting Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And so they had a great idea as to making a really good movie out of this, but unfortunately the direction that they took with the final cut of this film is just plain terrible. There are several pluses, but it really has nothing to do with the movie, with the fact that, of course, it's gonna be a woman's thing, which is, of course, you have to experience Gal Gadot's not only her being a breakthrough actress, but to be to let out her sexuality. That's what brings in the marketing towards having to watch this movie. Yes, she's an amazing, attractive woman. She just came from being a model, and now she's being Wonder Woman in the DCEU, and now she's playing this. Why? Don't know. Probably just for a simple paycheck, but otherwise, this movie is just flat out garbage. I mean, it's just not a movie that I was looking forward to having to watch, but it was really just garbage. I mean, I don't know what the heck they were thinking, making this an actual movie. I wish that they took a different direction into making it at least a little bit better, but otherwise, Keeping Up with the Joneses is just a flat out zero. It's garbage. I hate it. I never want to watch it again. The last time I'll be popping it on my TV, it's not worth it. I mean, there's a little bit of, there's a lot of sensuality towards this, which is very entertaining, but otherwise, it's not going to bring any pluses to my rating. So, and on Rotten Tomatoes, as a matter of fact, rated it at 19%. Why? Maybe because of the sensuality, but otherwise, on my book, it's a flat out zero for this movie. Sorry, but it's just, I don't recommend you guys going to watch this. Don't waste your time. It's just bad. So Gal Gadot is just better at just staying as Wonder Woman, so she should just stay doing that before she ruins her career, like with other movies such as this. Next up is 50 Shades Darker. Talking about terrible movies, here's another one. 50 Shades Darker is a sequel. Why is there a sequel? I don't know. I saw the first one, 50 Shades of Grey, and that was even a more worser, terrible movie. And the way I look at these movies is just the fact that it's like a porno of Twilight. I mean, literally, minus the whole vampire and werewolf drama. Yeah, this is pretty much the same thing, only there's just a lot of sex. You would think that having to put so much sex in a movie, or even just one scene of sex, that it would bring a lot of interest to audiences to come and watch this thing. Apparently, it's working. I don't know how they're doing it, but they're doing it, and it encouraged them to make the sequel, and of course there's gonna be a third movie. I'm like, my God, I don't even know how many. I'm not interested in the books, I'm not interested in the movies, but the fact that I love to talk about movies, especially having to talk about really, excuse my language, shitty ones like this one. It's just, oh my God. So I'm just gonna get this over with. Rotten Tomatoes rated it a 10%, but of course for me 0%. Sorry, this is just bad. I love sex. Me personally, I love sex, but that much sex in 2 hours? That's how long it is. Over 2 hours long. I can't take that much. It's just that bad. If you guys want to watch it, go for it, but I recommend you don't. It's not really worth your time. You don't care about any of these characters. You don't care about the story. You don't care about where it's going. You just don't care. You're just like, I got worser dramas to deal with rather than this crap. This is so pathetic. I never want to watch this again, nor do I even want to watch the third one, but the fact of me being a movie critic, I have to. So I don't know, 0.0, and on to the next movie review. Miss Peregrine's Home for Particular Children. Okay, so now the movies that I'm watching are getting a little bit more interesting because I am a huge Tim Burton fan, especially with his early films like, Batman, Beetlejuice, Edward Scissorhands. Those are classic Tim Burton awesome movies, but his recent movies that he's been coming out with have been quite of a drag. I love his unique vision on how he portrays his movies, and I love on how this one has really picked it up a little bit of a notch compared to the recent movies that have complete bombed at the box office. So Miss Peregrine's Home for Particular Children, it took me a while to learn the entitlement because it is just an extremely long title, but it's kind of like Mary Poppins and Professor Xavier for X-Men. Like, it's put together, and I didn't even know Sam Jackson was even in this movie playing the villain. And it's just about this boy who experiences this home in a different world, on how this woman, she takes care of these children and that have particular capabilities. And I find it very interesting. There was a lot of wow moments in this. There's a lot of weird moments in it too, and well, not weird, but particular. So it's just it was a good movie. I really did like this one. Tim Burton really did pick it up a notch for this one. I love his unique capabilities that he portrays onto these films, and I really do hope that he continues and to improve with his future films. So this movie, I give it a well, on Rotten Tomatoes they rated it a 64%. So I mean, it's borderline between good and bad, but otherwise on my part I would have to give it the same rating, but in the exact middle of 5.0 out of 10. I'm in the middle. Like I said, it's a great movie, but of course it has a lot of its flaws because Tim Burton has really very much lost some of his ways on how he makes great movies, like how he did in his earlier times. But otherwise, this movie, it's just a 5.0 out of 10. I do recommend you guys go and watch it. It's a good movie. It'll keep you entertained. But that's my rating. If you guys have a different rating, you can always comment in the section down below and let me know and have an awesome conversation with me about that. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump onto the next movie that I'm gonna go ahead and review for you guys this evening. The Great Wall. The Great Wall stars Matt Damon. Of course, they're gonna whitewash this whole thing, but otherwise, the rest of the cast of this movie is very much Chinese, and I'm not racist or anything. I actually am very quite fond of the Chinese and Japanese heritage and the culture itself. So, but I was kind of in between whether if I wanted to watch this or not, because I really do love these type of movies, but a little part of me also was thinking that maybe this isn't going to be a good movie for me to watch. But I took the chance. I went ahead and watched the movie, and there was really great moments. I did love the action scenes, even though the CGI is incredibly terrible, but the action is by far a very, very good. I really liked it. They made Matt Damon look like a badass, and they tried, but otherwise it's an okay movie. I was entertained by it. You know, there were some couple of boring drags, but it wasn't really as high as normal. But there was great action. The way that they portray the Chinese culture on how the military is, they're very organized, they're very prepared, and that really puts me on a very awesome spot here, because I really love what they do, and it's just so great. I was really entertained, and but like I said, and even the ending, it's kind of, you know, I like to call it the Phantom Menace winning, because, you know, as you well know, if you destroy one thing, it destroys all of them, and it just kind of, you know, ruins the whole thing for me, honestly. I was like, can you guys at least come up with something original, something that you guys come up from the top of your head to make this movie at least a bit more interesting? But otherwise, it's an okay movie. If you guys are interested in these types of movies like how I am, I do recommend you go and watch it if you want to keep yourself entertained. But otherwise, I really wouldn't bother with it. It's a forgettable movie. It's not really one to care for. You know, these characters are not very much in a position of having to care about. But it's an okay flick. Rotten Tomatoes rated it at 35%, and I gave it a 4.9 out of 10. So, like I said, even though it's below 5.0, which is, you know, half of my ratings, it doesn't mean that it's a terrible movie. Okay, it's okay. That's the thing. It's okay, but there are so many flaws regarded towards it. So, but otherwise, it's okay. If you guys haven't watched it yet, go ahead and watch it. It's okay. I really don't mind it at all, and I'm sure that you guys wouldn't either, especially if you guys love Matt Damon and his movies. So I'm not a big Matt Damon fan, but he does pretty well, all right. It's okay. So those are my ratings. I did 5 movies, and I do enjoy having to do these videos of reviewing them. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watching my videos, and also thank you so much for having to take the time to watch my Snapchat videos of my reactions towards these movies, because I love to talk about movies, and I even love it more where I get to show you how much I love them. But otherwise, if you guys have any requests as to any movies that you'd like for me to review for you guys, comment, let me know, and I'll go ahead and do that for you guys. But otherwise, Thank you guys so much. You guys are so great. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys at the movies. And as always, stay awesome. Bye, guys.